Hi, this is Rebecca at Nudge Village. It's been a while since we talked, and hope we get the conversation going again. I have been at a lot of conferences in this last month and a half, probably 5 or 6 actually, and had to travel to a few of them. So that, along with work, it's been very busy. And then I ended up at a week-long girls' camp. So that was great, actually, to be away from technology for a while and have a chance to think. But I learned a lot at the conferences, as everyone always does. There's so many great ideas and resources shared and connections made. And it's kind of hard to keep up with all of the ideas actually and implement them. But I'm doing my best to implement those few that I think will be beneficial with my day job, but also with Nudge Village. In addition to that, I have become an advocate of podcasts. I have enjoyed listening to them over the years, but even more so lately as I've been on the road, or even if I'm cleaning or walking or traveling, having these audio files, and sometimes they're video podcasts also, but for the most part, that audio, being able to multitask, which would be appropriate, right, to use that as a multitasking option, but I've learned so much through it. In fact, just this week driving to work, I listened to The Introverted Entrepreneur, which I didn't even know I had downloaded onto my iPod. And it was just another great example of it. Reminded me there's a book called The Toilet Paper Entrepreneur that I hadn't read yet, that I need to go get, that they were discussing. And then also the importance of having an accountability partner, which I think many people know that concept, especially if you've been on a diet or you've had a fitness coach, which another name could be a coach, actually. Just to have someone that you have a daily call with, or weekly, or I'd probably have one every 2 weeks, where I say, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it, and then I'd have to report back if I had done it. And just having that outside person to report to, and they report to you, can often bring about great results that wouldn't happen if we weren't accountable to anyone. So these little concepts that come up just from listening to a little 25, 30-minute audio while we're doing something we already need to do. Highly recommend it as a form of continually learning. Many of you have heard of Zig Ziglar, the great motivational speaker. He's a motivational speaker for like 60 years. I think he's still doing some talks, but very rare. I better look that up to make sure. I saw him a couple of years ago, actually, here in D.C. But he talked about the Automobile University and the importance of always learning on the go. And back then it was cassette tapes, and then it switched to CDs, and now it's kind of getting into that device mode where you have it with you truly on the go, whether you have your vehicle or not. So as a result of some of the activities that I've been working on, wanted to share with you that I'm going to incorporate something that I have incorporated at work. And that is, I took action to set up an interagency mobile working group. We are delving into the world of mobile learning, providing things on phones, smartphones, tablets, even laptops. That's a whole different realm of worrying about what the word mobile means. But having something that you can learn from while you're on the go is the gist of it. And we meet for 30 minutes once a month on a conference call. And I started out with the first couple agendas, but then other people joined in. And so, for example, someone might take 10 or 15 minutes and explain what they're doing in their organization. Some of the lessons learned, good and bad. They can solicit help from other people on the call. They find out if there's someone who's expert on something on the call, and then they become connected. We'll let people introduce a tool or share. And so I thought this would be a great fit for Nudge Village. So we are going to have a 30-minute call once a month for those that are interested to call in and listen to the discussion, or they can be part of the agenda. And all you have to do is message me saying, hey, I'd like to be part of the agenda. You can share what your company is doing or what you would like to do and get ideas from the group. So that's an exciting new development. Also excited to get some more people involved in Nudge Village. Of course, we're always adding villagers. Very slow pace, but that's fine. Want to build a sense of community. We're also going to be partnering with a couple of little groups from colleges, so some little entrepreneur groups or people from communications and marketing departments. I think they can help us. They might be able to use this, help some of us with projects that they're working on, or we can help them Maybe some of you could be mentors for some of them. And so I think it could be mutually beneficial relationships. So we're setting up some of those partnerships right now, and excited to do that. Wanted to share also, I'll be asking for feedback from you. I am creating a matrix or a decision tool of sorts to help people who are trying to decide whether they want to work for an organization full-time and do entrepreneur activities on the side, whether they want to have half and half, whether they want to go full-blown entrepreneur, and what type. So for example, if you wanted to be a contractor, or if you want to go into a franchise, or if you'd be a better fit for some of these intranet marketing companies. There's a lot of factors that play into it: location, time frame, other commitments, interests, and so I'm making a matrix. So I'm going to share that with you, a draft of that, some of the factors that I've seen in my life, having been in pretty much every form of business, even though I'm a government employee at this time, but I've been involved in quite a variety over my lifetime, and there's a few lessons learned that I have. But I wanted to have that matrix out there to share. I know people are deciding how to spend their time. I think sometimes you're in a mode where you're trying to make a lot of money, and then other times you get to a point where you have a pretty good income and you're like, okay, no kidding. What do I want to spend my time doing? I don't want to spend my time focused on making a lot of money. I want to spend my time perhaps creating more value or more meaning in my life. And so that's a balance, and I think it's different for everyone. We're all in different phases, but no matter what the phase, there's still things that play into it, our values, our personality types, and how much we're willing to invest as far as time and money. So just some upcoming things with Nudge Village. As always, this will only work if you share and ask questions. And I found Facebook is actually more popular than the website. That is completely fine. That's a lesson learned, by the way, for all of us. You know, websites may or may not be necessary for your business, depending on what you do. But feel free to continue to share. Let me know if you'd like to be involved in some of the things I've mentioned, and look forward to interacting more with you as we go forward. Talk to you soon.